Jacob Desvarieux, rest in peace, my uncle, was born in 1955, I think, in Paris, in France, right? And then he went to Guadeloupe, where his mother is originally from. And then he went to live in Senegal when he was, I'm not sure what age. I don't remember. He told me, but I don't remember what age he was. So he went to Senegal because his mom went to work there, and so since he knew nobody in Senegal, he lived in Dakar. He became friends with his neighbors, and his neighbors were a family of guitarists. So every time he would play with his neighbors, I don't know what age they were, 10, 12, 15, I'm not sure. But every time he was with his neighbor, the neighbor would always be playing guitar. And one day he told his neighbor, "Hey, teach me. I want to play guitar too." And they say, "Oh, cool. I'm going to show you." So the neighbor gave him a guitar in Senegal. And he gave him, me neither. So he gave him a guitar, and he started teaching him a few guitar licks. He started teaching him how to play a few of those, guitar sounds from whatever, rock, Senegal, etc., African licks, etc. And so he goes there. Now, thank you for that information. And he learns to play guitar in Senegal, and then goes back to Paris. Start playing in a rock band. That's one. And something that a lot of people don't know, he start playing guitars in a lot of soukous and Congolese rumba and dombolo songs that everybody know. A lot of people don't know, but it was Jacob Desvarieux who was playing guitar in a lot of those Congolese songs. He was a studio musician in Paris. That's how he was when he was, 18. That's how they were making money. Studio Chauve-Souris, him, Pierre-Edouard Decimus, etc. That's where, the Congolese artists will come. Franco, Zaiko, all these people would come, and sometimes they would need a musician to play the guitar in their songs, and also songs from Cameroon. And hey, they would call him, "Hey, we want a guitar," and he would play some of those guitars. So imagine how a lot of these songs that you hear that are in Congo, that are classic in Congo, even if it's not said, Jacob himself told me, "Yeah, I played in some of those tracks. I don't even remember which one, because at that time we didn't really care. I was just getting my 100 francs. That's all I care about." But he influenced even Congolese music, and he's been influenced by the Congolese music that people were making him play. And then after that, he went back to Guadeloupe, and he created Zouk with Pierre-Edouard Decimus, Jocelyne Berroir, etc., etc. And then when he came back to Senegal, now it was Kassav, was the biggest group in the world. He comes back to Senegal to play, and he realized that the guy, one of his neighbors that taught him to play the guitar, is Youssou bass player, one of the most famous bass and guitar player out there in Senegal, was the guy who taught Jacob Desvarieux how to play guitars. And how can you then tell me that because I'm African, I cannot participate in the conversation about Zouk, when the creator of Zouk himself was African in his heart. I know him. We've been in Africa together more than 20 times. And in Africa, he felt at home. And this is why when people tell me that I'm not supposed to be part of this conversation when they have emotional reactions, I tell them, you guys have no idea actually what you're talking about. Because the creator of Zouk not only is somebody who participated in an African music, but he learned to play music in Africa. And what he invented when he came back was a little bit of what he learned in Senegal and a little bit of the rock that he learned in France. And that's how he created Zouk, by mixing everything. And this is why Kassav was huge and will always be huge in Africa, because the Africans could recognize the African in him, in that music. You could recognize. And when you listen to Zouk in general, but if you listen to Kassav, especially the early songs, you could hear that the music has that African feeling. And this is why we are together. And sometimes people want to, territorialize things. And I'm like, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get it. Because we in this together. And we actually built this, all of us together. And I will do a whole show about this, but something that people don't understand is that the person who created the sound called Afro Zouk with Monique Seka, Oliver Ngoma, rest in peace, and that's all subgenre of Zouk. All the beats were made by the legendary Manu Lima. He's Cap Verdean. Philippe Montero, who is somebody who even influenced me in terms of production and at a point influenced the whole Kizomba by, I would say, 2006, 2005. I don't remember when he released his album, Philippe and Friends. He lives in Dakar. And I think he speaks Wolof better than Creole from Cap Verde. He's always been in Dakar. And listen, Dakar is a few hours from Cap Verde. So that's where you understand how music travels by itself. And you cannot come and say, oh, you cannot participate in this conversation because you are not from whatever. Because that's not how music works. Music doesn't have a passport. It's only people who are trying to, and of course, territories will then create their own sound and everybody will have, it's normal. This is normal that some inventions will go there, some genres will be cemented in different places, but you have to understand how, when you understand the story of some musicians and where they've been, what they did, and how they created what they created, that's where you're like, yo, wow. And this is super important when we talk about music, to learn those stories, to have people who tell those stories, to be able to make the difference between what you want or what makes you happy and what really happened. Because if the person who taught Jacob Desvarieux to play guitar is the guitarist, bassist of Youssou N'Dour, the implication is crazy. And they met each other, I think, years after, 30 years after. And they were on the same stage and it was like, you remember me? Your face? Yeah, I taught you to play guitar with my brother here. And yo, yeah. And that's why I really loved Jacob. Jacob was a person that was so open to his own Africanity, and at the same time super proud of his Creole roots. And one doesn't go against the other. The two can live together, because to be proud of being Creole is actually to be proud of being African. And of course, at a point, once you've been and your family have been in a land long enough, 1,000 years, now you are from there, of course. But it doesn't mean that your roots don't go deep, 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 deep. And to understand music and to understand the movements of music, you really have to learn your history about the populations, about the people. Like, the people who are game changers are people who travel. It's people, they go outside to enrich themselves from information and from the culture of others. One of the best things that happened to me is the fact that I've been to 100 countries. And I know so many different cultures that it can take me from one place to another. And my music, you can hear it in my music. Listen, what you're hearing in the back now is my music. It's Amapiano, but it doesn't sound like Amapiano from everybody else, because I don't want to sound like a South African. I want to pay homage to the South Africans, but at the same time, I want to bring my stuff in it, because I'm a creator. I'm an artist. I'm not a follower. I don't get in the wagon number 5 and follow. I create my own tracks and I branch out. That's what I do. And it doesn't mean that those who want to follow the lead don't have the right to do it. To each their job. And that story from Jacob, those stories from Jacob, and a lot of the stories that Jacob told me, listen, they changed a lot of my perspective on a lot of things, because he was somebody who was so rich in terms of culture and the music and everything he learned, that, before he passed away, I talked to him on the phone, and I told him, hey, I would love to have you in this album. I know that we did a lot of songs together, but yeah, I would love for you to be in this album. This is going to be my 10th album. And you know what he replied to me? He said, yes, but I don't want to do Zouk. And I was like, why? He was like, because I want to do something new. I want to do something, that is not something easy for me, or where people are waiting for me. And I was thinking a lot. I was like, oh, what could I do with him? Like, where could I, where could I take him, like, musically? Like, should I do a kizomba? But I mean, kizomba is not so far from Zouk. Maybe a compa, maybe like a very R&B Zouk, or maybe a reggaeton, and then I was like, oh, maybe I could do an amapiano with him. That would kill everybody. If, and that was like last year, and then there was the COVID, and then there was the quarantines, and then, we were on the phone, then he came here, and there was he didn't have the time to do all these things. So I was like, hey, I would love to have you on Club Shada, and at the same time, I would love to book you a ticket to come to Lisbon, and we just go to the studio and we create something. Let me know when you come back from the West Indies. And he never came back from the West Indies, and this broke my heart. But listen, I continue to be more than grateful that I had the opportunity to be graced by his presence and his greatness, and the amazing stories, like those stories that I'm telling you that he told me. Like, I didn't read it somewhere, I was just trying to find the detail of the name of the guitarist in Senegal. That was I was trying to read and when it was. But I remember when he told me that story. When he told me, yeah, listen, I learned to play guitar in Senegal. I was like, what? Wait, what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he started telling me the story when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. And me, I was like, this changes everything. He was like, what? I was like, no, because I mean, he was in Africa. He was like, yeah, but I mean, we're all African, no? Yeah. And listen, I tend to be a person that people learn from me, but it's never the better moment for me when I'm learning from guys like him. So yeah, listen, and to imagine that, I mean, I would love to find the songs, the rumba and dombolo songs, the Congolese music where he played, because this is as important as the fact that he learned to play music in Senegal. It's also super important to know what song that we know from the Congolese catalog where he's there as well. And in a way, how I feel like I'm a heir to Jacob Desvarieux is the fact that when you take my song Kaysha on dit quoi, the beat is made by me. I'm from Congo. The guitars on this song are made by Thierry Delaney, who is the same guitarist who did Mon Soleil by Princess Lover, and he's from Guadeloupe. Yeah, he's from Guadeloupe. The chorus is made by Tia, who is from Ivory Coast and France. The Nushi parts are made by Anofela, who's from Ivory Coast, and all the animation, the atalaku, the Congolese atalaku, is made by Top One, who is from Congo Brazzaville. Boom. And that's how I make music, and that's how I love to make music. I hate when somebody sends me a message telling me, yeah, I'm from Congo and I would love to. And I'm like, I don't care where you're from. If you're a musician, we are from the same family. Don't come and tell me I'm from whatever, because it doesn't change nothing for me. And the same thing when I go to interviews in Congo and everybody's like, yeah, but why don't you do more music for people from Kinshasa? And I'm like, I don't do music with people because they are from somewhere. I do music with people because they do great music. That's it. And that's how I work, you know. And a lot of times I've been in Cape Verde, I've been in the West Indies, in Guyana, in France, in Morocco, here in Portugal, in Angola, in Mozambique, and people tend to, because sometimes it's because of the struggle, they tend to go inwards and stay between themselves and work between themselves, or be like, oh, it's the Cape Verdeans against the Angolans, or oh, Kizomba is ours, all these things. And me, I tend to be up there watching everybody, and I'm like, when I go to Cape Verde, I'm treated like a Cape Verdean because of my contribution to Cape Verdean music, because of songs like One Love, Question My Heart, etc. When I go to Angola, same thing. When I go, and because I inspired musicians of these places. When I go to Mozambique, same thing. When I went to Kenya, same thing. When I go to Congo, same thing. When I go to Paris, same thing. When I go to the West Indies, same thing. And I produce people, I created careers from other people, and I always thought, listen, we just musicians. We make music. We don't make politics. We're not here to do something about territories and this and that. We make music to make people happy, or to make people think, or to spread a message, or to spread love. And it's something that, you know, whenever I was in those positions, of the stories that I told you before, of people being pissed off the things that I said, or my reflections, or me stating facts. Why people always lose against me when it comes to going head to head with me is because I come from knowledge. I come from facts. I don't come here telling people, oh, I think that. No. It's not about what I feel or what I think. It's about the fact. The sky is blue. That's it. There's nothing I can explain to you why it's blue, but don't come and tell me, no, it's pink. Or maybe it's pink at the sunset sometimes. But don't come and tell me, no, it's not true. The sky is never blue. It's green or whatever, or it's yellow or stuff. No. Because me, I understand why it's blue. I understand about the ozone, about the H2Os, about, like, I learned this in physics. So when you come to me with bullshit or emotions, or you angry, I'm just gonna look at you like, bro, why are you angry?